Hello, and welcome back to Alex at the desk. Yes, hello and welcome back. I'm Alex and I'm at the desk, and we're here for another episode of Alex at the desk. I've said that 3 times this episode already. So, it's the 9th of December. There are 16 days to go until Christmas, and we're back finishing off my fleet of Sam's Trains wagons. So I have 2 up here that I'm going to be painting, and they are the Era 1 Flatbeds. And I also have some extra resin printed barrels, so I plan on painting up these barrels because they're all in plain black at the moment. So if I paint them into brown, they should look good in the brewery area, or like I have them here, blue attached to the flatbed. And on this one I have, this is my Piano Man wagon. So this is a Sam's Trains 3D printed piano from the Uncle Frederickson's Balancing Train piano wagon, or wagons, that I got as part of a mystery box last year, and unfortunately I didn't manage to get a mystery box this year. And then I also have a little man standing there. He's the Piano Man. Sometimes he escapes onto the main line and goes for a tinkle of the ivories as he goes around. So I've got those 2 wagons to take the decks off, paint them up, and get them looking good, and reassembling them, and hopefully they'll look good and be ready for the Christmas special. So I'm going to move the camera now, and we'll have a look close up. So here we are at the desk, having a close-up look at the flatbed wagons. And if you haven't already, I'd just like to remind you, you can like, comment, share, and subscribe. So if you're liking the content that you see, you can subscribe to the Beaglington-On-Sea channel. Go on, give it a go. Anyways, with that shameless plug over, it's time to disassemble these and get them ready for painting. So I'm going to take my piano, park it over there, take my Piano Man off, get to this. There's some blue tack in the detailing of these wagons, and they are nicely detailed. There's little, I think they're like little rivets or something along the ends of the planks. See if I can get them to show up, or it might just be part of the shape, but the frames have nice rivet detailing as well. I'm a big fan of these Era 1 wagons. I haven't actually got any of the Hornby wagons because they've been too expensive for me to really put the investment in for just what is essentially the rocket tender. So I haven't bought into those yet, but I have a handful of different types of the Sam's Trains ones, and I do have a LMR blue open coach from Hornby. It'd be nice if I could get another one. Maybe I could ask Santa for one, I don't know, if I've been a really good boy. And then I've also got 2 Trying Rocket coaches, one of them repainted by a previous owner, which I got on, I think I got on Hattons, which is a lovely shade of blue. And speaking of blue, that's what I'm going to do the frames of these in today. At least that's the plan. I'm going to do the edges of the deck in black. I'm going to do the planks brown, but different shade of brown, and then I'm going to do the frames in blue, because I said last time I wanted to do a different colour, and I didn't have the time to be doing 2 different colours. So I'm going to see if I can keep things sort of standardised. So the vans have the same colour chassis, and these will have the same colour blue as each other, and so we can separate these now, hopefully. He doesn't want to budge. Quite secure, I suppose. Goodness me, why doesn't that want to go off? There we go. Oh, I see, there's a bit of extra plastic on the bottom of that screw shaft there, or whatever you call it. So that's the chassis, and we've got our little plastic tub here again. For our screws. And for now, we can put the chassis in there. So we can unscrew those like that. Come on, up you come. there we are. So we have our two little decks. So I've got to get some paint ready. So the colour I've chosen for today is, I think, a Revel Matte 84 brown, which is a nice sort of dark chocolatey kind of brown. And I'm going to get my blue tack here, and I'm going to find a pot that I'm not going to be using. It's matte white, and I'm going to place my bed deck on top of it, and I'm going to paint this on like so. I don't know if you can hear the wind outside, but it's very windy today and very wet, so it's a nice day to be inside doing some modelling. And that's looking all right. The rest of the frame will all be kind of painted in black, I guess, so brush that on and leave that to dry. It's looking good already. Yep, that's good, right. And then we'll grab another one that I'm not going to use, that's a red. Put another bit of blue tack on top. And get rid of the deck. Attach that. Paint. And I feel like I mention it whenever I'm painting these, but when you see them without the paint on, they can look a little bit plain. And really, it's just because, you know, they're your blank canvas, really, for whatever paint finish you want to put on. And once you put the paint on them, it completely changes how they look. I mean, if they already looked good already, they look even better once you give them a paint job. And that's the fun thing, as I always say with the Sam's Trains wagons, is that they're all there, they just need to be finished. So, you know, it gives you some modelling to do without it just being, you know, ready to place on the track. Not that there's anything wrong with things being ready to place on the track. So now what we're going to do is, because we've got the brown out, we're going to pop our barrels onto the top of this paint set. And I'm going to paint them on there. Oh, this one's picked up a bit of platform or something from the Engage series. There. And now I'm not sure how this has happened, but there is actually seems to be an odd number of barrels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get more brown paint, and I'm going to paint that onto these barrels. The handy thing with these barrels is that they are detailed around the edges and on the top, but not on the bottom, so you always know which way up they're supposed to go, and it saves you painting the bottom. Like I say, I can have it like this, where they're just sat on top of a bit of blue tack, and allows me to just paint on the brown. And by blue tacking them on like this, I can change the angle, and they just stay stuck on. So that's one done, and I'll switch over to speeded up film, and I'll do the rest. And there we have our barrels painted, and they're going to go up onto the top shelf to dry. So now we can look at painting the frames. So we've got these, and I'm just going to wash my brush. There, right. So we're going to paint these in blue, and I have some matte 56. It's my usual preferred shade of blue when painting things on the railway. Right, so we have 4, and we have after. But with the help of a little Christmas magic, I said with the help of a bit of Christmas magic, both chassis will now be painted. Yes, we got that in the end, didn't we? Right. While all those are drying, I'm going to attempt to get the black paint done on the decks. Right, so I've got my wagon deck held up with a bit of blue tack, and I'm going to use this black to paint the frames of it. And it's just a gloss black because I still don't have the matte black yet. But it looked like that kind of, I don't know if you've ever been to a preserve row and you see the stuff in the sidings and they've got this sort of glossy black paint on them. I know it's a very poor description, but that's what I'm on about. I remember back when they first had steam on the Mid-Suffolk Light Railway, I think there used to be like a tank wagon that used to be like very dark black. We get a finer brush, I think. And that used to be, I used to think of it as like the tar wagon from Thomas the Tank Engine when I was a kid. That was back in 2002, which is 22 years ago, which makes me feel very old. In fact, it's more like nearly like 22 and a half years ago. Now, I'll get the other one done. Alright, so it's now time to try and assemble these wagons again. I've popped the deck on. The black paint has gone a bit smeary in places, but I think with the load on top, it won't be that noticeable. It doesn't help that I've got bits of black paint on my fingers. So now we're going to attempt to put the screws back in. Now these screws all seem to be slightly magnetic. So hopefully I should be able to manage them okay. You know, the lighting's not great today, but there they are, there's the wagons, and I think they look pretty good. They'll look even better when they're properly dry, but we've got the barrels now, which we can position on the wagon. I know that I'll be able to see the blue tack around the base of them, but it'll be alright. Yeah, but obviously the black is getting on me as well, so. That one does not need as much on it. And now we can add our piano man to the other wagon. So I'm actually going to give him some new blue tack, or rather I'm going to hopefully rejuvenate the blue tack that he's got on his piano. There, that. And the man himself has a little ball of blue tack that we're just going to stick back on his foot and hope it's alright, except it's stuck to me instead. There we go. There we are. There our piano man and our barrels. They look very overpacked, but I think they'll look alright when they're running. If you ignore the blue tack on the bottom of them, I could probably super glue them in future, but I never know what I might want to put on these flatbeds in future, and I have a couple of barrels that will go over. I'll leave them aside. They'll go on to the brewery platform when I've got that sorted out. So I think that's more or less where we'll end it, and I'll get a couple of shots close up of them on the railway. Right, well, things have been a bit sticky and a bit painty, but overall I'm pleased with what I've achieved, and I definitely think it'll look a lot better when it's actually in the Christmas special running. I might decide to just super glue those things on. I don't know, because the blue tag does look a bit raised. It might just be because things are sticking to me, but the paint doesn't seem so bad, so I'm not sure what it is. I am covered. I've got brown paint here, got blue paint here. Bit of a messy one, but I'm happy with the end result. Roughly what I wanted it to look like, and that's where we're going to end it this episode, I think. So 16 days till Christmas special sooner than that. Got a few more Sam's Trains wagons to paint up before then. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've been a wonderful Alex, because you've been a wonderful audience, and I'll see you for another one soon here at the desk. I hope they all get covered in paint and get sticky and stuff. So that's it. Oh, and there's also the subscribe button on the playlist thing.